Hey everyone, if you're trying to build a video wall that actually looks seamless and professional without spending a fortune, you might be wondering whether this LG 55-inch FHD video wall display is really worth it. I've been testing it for a few weeks now, and honestly, it's one of those products that surprises you once you see it in person. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. So, first off, the bezel is super thin, just 1.74 mm from panel to panel. That might not sound like much, but when you line up 4 of these side by side, the gaps are barely noticeable. I set up a 2x2 configuration in my office, and from a normal viewing distance, it looks like one giant screen. That's a huge deal if you're using this for digital signage, control rooms, or even a home theater setup where you want that immersive feel without the ugly seams. The display itself is 55 inches, which is a sweet spot for video walls. It's big enough to be impactful, but not so large that it becomes impractical for most spaces. The resolution is FHD, which is 1920 x 1080, and the colors are solid, good contrast and brightness for indoor use. I've used it to run multiple video feeds at once, and the clarity holds up really well. If you're displaying dashboards, security footage, or even just looping promotional videos, this panel delivers a clean, sharp image. One thing I really like is the connectivity. It's got HDMI, 2 ports, USB 2.0, DisplayPort, DVI, and even an RS-232C port for more advanced control setups. There's also an RJ45 LAN port, which is super handy if you want to manage the display over a network. I've used the LAN connection to control the screen remotely, which saved me a ton of time when I was adjusting settings across multiple panels. The WebOS 4.1 interface is smooth too, easy to navigate and quick to switch between inputs or apps. Another practical benefit is the built-in speakers. They're not going to blow you away with sound quality, but for basic audio like announcements or background music, they are more than enough. I've also noticed the panel stays cool even after hours of continuous use, which is a relief if you're running it 24/7 like in a retail store or a lobby. Now, let's talk about the downsides. The biggest one is the price. These panels aren't cheap, especially if you're buying multiple units. You're looking at a few $100s per panel, so the total cost adds up fast. Also, while the bezel is thin, it's not invisible. If you're standing right up against the screen, you might notice the slight gap, but for most viewing distances, it's not an issue. Another thing to keep in mind is the setup. Mounting these panels requires some precision. You'll need a good video wall mount, or a custom frame to keep everything aligned perfectly. If you're not handy with tools or don't have experience with video walls, you might want to hire a professional to install them. It's not a plug-and-play solution, so factor that into your planning. Overall, though, if you need a reliable, high-quality video wall that looks professional and performs well, this LG panel is a solid choice. The thin bezels, good connectivity, and solid image quality make it worth the investment for the right use case. Whether you're setting up a command center, a digital signage display, or even a unique home setup, this panel delivers. So, if you're ready to take the plunge, check out the link below to see the current price and availability on Amazon. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. For most buyers, the real question is not whether LG 55 FHD video wall, 1.74 mm, panel bezel to panel bezel, video wall, HDMI 2, USB 2.0, 1, DP 1, DVI 1, audio, RS-232C in and out, RJ45 LAN in and out, WebOS 4.1 sounds impressive on paper, but whether strengths like 55 FHD video wall, 1.74 mm, panel bezel to panel bezel, video wall, and practical day-to-day use actually make daily use feel easier, more dependable, and more worthwhile after the first few days of excitement wear off. It is also smart to think about long-term satisfaction. A product like LG 55 FHD video wall, 1.74 mm, panel bezel to panel bezel, video wall, HDMI 2, USB 2.0, 1, DP 1, DVI 1, audio, IS-232C in and out, RJ45 LAN in and out, WebOS 4.1 usually feels like the better buy when it stays convenient, comfortable, and reliable in normal everyday use instead of only looking good in the listing.